If you happened to tune in last night, I shared a poem. I've been finding myself drawn to reading a lot of poetry recently, mostly because it's about the length of my attention span right now, a short story or a poem. And I don't know, there's just some comfort in reading poems and poetry, at least for me. And this poem, when I read it, I knew I needed to share it in a mindful morning movement practice, because it's entirely about inviting in that mindfulness, that presence. So we will begin today on our backs. If you want to make your way there right now, maybe starting in restorative pose, so taking the feet wide on your mat and letting the knees tip in toward one another. Either having a blanket behind your head, or your head could be flat against the earth or your mat. Your arms can rest by your sides. You could even have your hands on your low torso, your ribs. Beginning by just noticing how it feels to settle into the earth, and give yourself permission to adjust here. Shifting hips, shoulders, and the head resting. Eyes open or gently closed. This is your practice. Everything offered is simply that, an offering for you to explore, to tune in to your own breath, your own body, and to listen to the signs, the cues that your body is giving you. And part of this is a practice of tuning into trusting and tuning in to feeling and hearing from your own self. I'm here to guide. So this is a poem by Rumi titled, "This We Have Now." This we have now is not imagination. This is not grief or joy, not a judging state or an elation or sadness. Those come and go. This is the presence that doesn't. This we have now. And so for today, the theme of our class is this we have now. We don't know about the future, and for now we don't have to worry about the past. This we have now, right here. The very breath you're taking in this moment. Letting that one go and being with the one you're now on. This we have now. Notice the breath, the inhales and the exhales. And now there is nothing you need to do to change, to alter the breath. Just be with what is there for you right here, right now. And see what you notice. You're breathing through the nose or mouth. Would it feel good to invite yourself to breathe in and out through the nose today? Or maybe breathe in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Breathing in and out through the nose encourages us to breathe a bit more with the whole body versus taking shallow breaths up in our upper chest. So if you're not stuffy and congested or have something else going on with your breathing today, see if you can breathe a little bit more through the nose. Breathing in and breathing out. And where do you feel your breath? And see if you can notice. Take a few moments. Do you notice it in the lower torso? Across the ribs? About the upper chest, the collarbone, the shoulders? Do you feel a subtle movement as you breathe in and out? Or maybe you notice the breath most apparent through the nose, even the mouth. Can you feel the tickle sensation as you breathe in? The warmth of the air as you breathe out. Notice the change in temperature. This we have now. And this is all we need. Just for now. There's nothing else you need to do. And there's nowhere else you need to be. This we have now. If you would like, you can allow this phrase to become an affirmation for you during this class. An affirmation, a present, positive phrase that invites something you're trying to bring more of into your life. So for this class, we're looking at the here and now presence. And if you've been feeling any kind of unease or anxieties coming up, feeling scattered, if you feel that inviting a little ease through presence, through landing right here, right now, would serve you, perhaps allow this we have now to become your affirmation for this class or even this day. And just letting it repeat in your mind with each breath in, and maybe even each breath out. Or maybe you say it once all the way through for a full cycle of your breath. And perhaps there's something else on your mind that you would like to invite in. Maybe something specific. Maybe there's peace or calming, health, wellness. You could even incorporate it into this affirmation. Instead of saying this, you could say peace we have now, health we have now, security we have now. Whatever it may be, have it now. Allowing the breath now to become a little bit softer. A little bit smoother. Perhaps just a little bit longer than your natural rhythm. So whatever that feels and looks like for you today, in your interpretation, you guide the breath to grow a little softer, a little smoother, and perhaps just a little bit longer than the natural rhythm. Breathing in and breathing out. Softer, smoother, a little bit longer now. This we have now. And as you're ready, if you would like to invite in movement today, preparing. If you're in that restorative pose with the feet wide and the knees toward one another, let the knees separate. Let your arms open out to a T. And on your next exhale, let both knees tip to one side or the other, whichever way you're drawn. When you're ready, inhale back through center. And exhale toward the opposite side. And throughout class today, think about 80% effort versus pressing all the way into full effort. Consider allowing this practice to be a little less effortful, a little more effortless. Breathing softly, smoothly, a little bit longer now. Inhales, knees through center. Exhales, they tip to one side or the other. Maybe let your gaze shift. When your knees go left, the gaze might shift right. When the knees come through center, the gaze goes back up toward the sky. When the knees go right, the gaze can shift left. And letting your body move without considering too much if there's a right or wrong, because there is no right or wrong in this moment. See what feels good. So maybe as you let your knees drop, you let your spine arch a little bit, your ribs lift up, maybe your tailbone shifts towards the earth, or maybe it feels good to stay really neutral today. Maybe even gluing the low back against the floor, imprinting, and only swaying the knees slightly from left to right. What serves you in this moment? Breathing softly, smoothly, a little bit longer now. We'll meet slowly, slowly back at center. Kneel to the feet toward one another until the heels are in line with the bone at the bottom of your pelvis, our sitting bones. You might think of that as like also hip distance apart. Think of the front of your hip versus the outside of your hip. So it has to be just a little narrower than we first think. Your arms can stay where they are. They could float down by your sides, or even rest on your hips or on your low torso. Notice the natural curve of your spine, whatever shape it is. Let's send the low back just a little love and support in this moment. As you exhale, gently press the low back against the earth, that imprint. And then as you inhale, let the low back lift up. Send your tailbone toward the floor. Lift and expand through the ribs. Keep your glutes planted. Exhale when you're ready. Glue that low back down. Inhales, letting the low back arch up as if you're building a little bridge under your back. Back and forth now to the rhythm of your breath. Let your breath guide the movement. It does not need to match the cues that I'm offering. Feel the expansion with each inhale, the subtle release as you exhale. And see what you notice in this movement. Can you feel your shoulder blades against the mat here? Maybe they gently shift up and down slightly. What about the back of your head? Can you feel that shift slightly? You can allow the movement if it's coming. Stillness is also an option. Breathing in, breathing out. And then if you want, opening the arms to a T and adding a little more movement here. Inhaling one more time. Exhaling, gluing the low back down, and now maintain that imprint. And as you next inhale, press into your heels. Let your knees stay parallel to one another, and slowly lift your hips and glutes up. Maintain that imprint. And then as you exhale and lower, today, think of lowering one vertebra of the spine down at a time. So slowly rolling the low back all the way down and gluing it once again to the mat. So this is just an option, a slow peeling up and lowering down. So you can do this with the imprint or option. Allow the neutral spine to return the next time you lower the spine. Glue the low back down. Exhale. Inhale, one vertebra at a time from the tailbone all the way up, peeling up. One vertebra at a time, all the way back down. And releasing into that neutral position. Maybe a couple of tips back and forth before finding a bridge once again. So any way you wish to explore this in the moment. Imprinting and finding a gentle lift, a slow lower, or allowing the neutral spine, a gentle imprint, and then visualizing and slowly peeling the low back up one vertebra at a time. See what sensations you notice. What do you see? What do you visualize? What feels right for you for now? Breathing in, breathing out. This we have now. We take one or two more, or hold at the top, and slowly we'll all meet together. Neutral spine. Walk the feet wide. Heels on the mat, maybe the toes spill off. And let the knees sway once again from side to side. Meeting back at center. And gently hug the knees towards your chest. And here you can keep the legs side by side. You can wrap your arms around the fronts or backs of the legs. You could also maintain arms on the ground and just using the muscles of the legs to hold them in. You can add movement here, rocking or circling. You might like crossing your ankles, even letting your knees widen slightly. Breathing softly and smoothly. A little bit longer now. One breath at a time. Circle one way, then the other if you were circling. This we have now. Let's meet at center. If the ankles are crossed, uncross them, bringing the legs side by side, and cup your kneecaps with your hands. And begin here to circle the knees round and round, a double wind reliever to begin. And they can come towards your torso and then open up as if they were going to hug the ribs, and then circle away from you and then back toward one another before coming back toward the torso. And here you can let the feet just kind of float, or when the knees open up, the feet could come toward one another. When the knees come toward one another, you could open the feet away from one another. Breathing softer, smoother, a little bit longer. And what feels good here? Rapid movement, slow movement, something in between. And eventually finding a spot to reverse directions. Notice how this is feeling in the hips, the glutes. Let's meet back at center. Come back to that rocking or stillness, whichever you choose. Then slowly take hold of just the right leg and let the left foot come down to the mat. You can keep the left knee bent or send the left leg long here. See how they both feel. If keeping the knee bent feels supportive or the leg long, moving into that. And when you're ready, bringing movement to just that right side, maybe rocking forward and back toward your torso or across your body. You might draw circles or figure eights. You can use both hands or just the right hand, or even no hands at all to guide the movement. And see how moving just the right side feels. Feel focusing here is for you in this moment, where you notice the movement. Any clicky spots or smooth spots, places of ease or tension. Breathing softly, smoothly, a little bit longer than the natural rhythm. Now you can stay here, circling, or if you would like a little twist today, finding neutral, bring that right foot onto the left leg, or just to the inside of it. If your left knee is bent, send it long, let the left heel rest. Let the left hand come onto that right leg, and open your right arm out to a T. Now keep your right shoulder glued. Maybe even take your gaze toward the right hand. And then you determine how much of a twist. Perhaps it's just visualizing the knee crossing over the midline toward the left. Maybe it crosses just enough to right about where the right hip wants to lift off the mat. Or maybe you take an inhale, and with your exhale you let that right hip peel up off the mat, gluing the right shoulder down toward the mat. Breathing in and out here, softening. Breathing. One breath at a time. Coming back to your affirmation. Whatever it may be, this we have now. Another breath in and out. And with your next inhale, unwinding, letting that right knee tip open to the right as the right foot spills off of the left leg. The right foot can touch the left leg here. The left leg is long. And the arms can rest wherever you like, whether on your low torso, your ribs, by your sides, or even reaching the arms up overhead and letting the backs of the hands connect to the earth. This we have now. It can sometimes also feel really good to drape that right arm across the eyes and to hold on to the back of the left arm, so tucking the right hand behind the left arm. Another breath here. And slowly lower the arms if you had them overhead. And gently bring that right knee back up to center, planting the right foot. Then the left knee and plant the left foot. Lift the hips up just an inch and then back down. And then send both legs long. And notice any subtleties between the legs. Notice how the right side feels compared to the left. What sensations are there for you? How would you describe it? What do you notice? Sometimes we don't notice the difference. That's okay too. Just see what's there for you. It might feel a little more spacious or connected, grounded to the earth. Maybe there's a sensation that that right limb is longer than the left. Another breath in, out here. And we'll bend the knee and hug both knees in toward the chest again, adding rocking or circling. One way and then the other. This we have now. And moving back to that Double wind reliever with the hands, cupping the kneecaps, encircling the knees round and round. Maybe bringing the feet toward each other as the knees widen, the feet away as the knees come toward one another. Meeting back at center. This time the right foot releases to the mat as the left knee stays hugged in. And bringing the focus to the left side, rocking. Forward and back, up and down, side to side, or circling. You can keep the right knee bent, or maybe you've already sent it long. Maybe figure eights. You might use just the left hand or no hands at all to support the left leg. And see what you notice about the left side. What's here for you in this moment? Breathing softer, smoother, a little bit longer. Reversing directions if you haven't yet. And eventually we'll meet at center and send the right leg long on the mat if it isn't. And let the left foot land on the right leg or just to the inside. Open the left arm out to your side. And the right hand can come across to that left knee. And then visualizing the left knee crossing the body. Or if you want, slightly tipping it over the midline. Or taking an inhale. And with the exhale, letting that left hip peel up off the floor, glue the left shoulder down. You might shift your gaze left. Breathing in, breathing out. This we have now. One more breath in and out here. Then slowly unwinding and letting the left knee spill open to the left foot slides to the floor. The arms can stay where they are or shift. You could take them overhead if you liked. The arm across the eyes before the left arm can drape across the eyes. You can hold on to the back of the right arm if the arms are overhead. This we have now. When you're ready, if the arms are overhead, lowering them and bringing that left knee up, bending both knees and planting the feet. A slight lift and lower the hips, and sending the legs long once again. Noticing the left side, noticing the right side, sensations. How does that left side feel in this moment? Breathing softer, smoother. A little bit longer now. Bending one knee and then the other. Planting the feet. And considering the most easeful way for you to make your way onto the front side of your body. See it, and then take your movement to get there. Once there, if you had a blanket under the head, setting it aside, sending both arms long out in front, tops of the feet press into the mat. Your forehead or chin can rest on the floor. Breathe here. Send the hip bones downward, tops of the feet pressing. And then hug the muscles of the legs against the bones. Keep the arms long, and as you inhale, lift your head and heart. As you lift, maybe your hands and arms slide towards you a little bit. Keep pressing down through the feet. As you exhale, slowly lower back down and soften all the muscles that you've contracted. So as you inhale, pressing feet down, hips down, hugging the bones. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, slow lower down. And release. Following your breath now. Inhale's lifting. Exhale's lowering. Continuing here with the arms extended or sliding them back in line with the shoulders, hugging elbows in. No hands, they're just floating here. Inhale's lifting, keep pressing the feet, the hips down, hug the muscles onto the bones. Exhale's lowering and softening. One more lift. One more lower. Let the elbows kick out to the side. Stack the hands, rest the forehead, bend the knees, and sway the feet side to side. Now here, if you need a little more space for the upper chest or the ribs, the stomach, you can take a blanket or towel rolled up on the upper chest and just tucking the ends under the elbows into the armpit region. Eventually letting the feet settle back down to the ground. And with your hands stacked, your forehead resting, creating just enough space between your mat and your nose so you can comfortably breathe. Take several breaths here through the front side of the body. Feeling the subtle pressure, the front side of the body against the earth, expanding and releasing. One more breath, then lifting the head, sliding the blanket or towel forward. If you had it there, bring the hands in line with the shoulders and press yourself up to hands and knees, right into a cat. Curl the spine up, tuck the head, tuck the tail. Relax the stomach down, lift the head, lift the tail, root down through hands or fists if you prefer. Back and forth with your breath. Adding any movement here that supports you. If a hold feels good, or if shifting to one side or the other, creating a little C curve with the spine so that the hips sink to one side, the head shifts to the other. Several more. And finding neutral. And finding a child's pose. Maybe taking the knees wide, the toes towards one another, and sinking back toward the heels with the hips. And bringing the forehead to the ground or a blanket or stacked hands. If the tops of the feet need a little more space, you can always bring that blanket under the feet to add a little A little more comfort and ease there. How can you support yourself in this moment? Taking several breaths now in child's pose. This we have now. Breathing soft, smooth, a little bit longer now. As we approach our final resting, check in with yourself in this moment and see if there's any other movement you would like to invite in before making your way to your final resting pose. And maybe you feel complete and are ready to move into that resting pose now. Invite yourself there, or take some more movements while we're on hands and knees, maybe some circles for the hips. Maybe a couple more cats and cows, maybe threading one arm behind the other, or maybe moving onto your back, taking a bound angle or butterfly. Take your time, be and breathe. And when you're ready, finding that space to rest, to drift, to dream. This we have now is not imagination. This is not grief or joy, not a judging state or an elation or sadness. Those come and go. This is the presence that doesn't. When you're ready, settling in to your final resting, to be and breathe, to drift or dream, to allow these movements today to integrate. Gently begin to invite yourself back to the space you're in, maybe visualizing the room you're in before opening the eyes, maybe keeping the eyes closed for a bit longer, and inviting some subtle movement, wiggling fingers, toes, maybe shifting a little bit, hip to hip. You might choose to rest exactly where you are for a breath or two more. Perhaps curling up onto one side or the other would serve you this morning. This we have now, right here. Everything you need. When you're ready, invite yourself to come up to seated. I'll meet you there. Thank you for joining us this morning, for sharing this time and space, for taking the time for you, whether you had a busy mind or were able to find a little bit of connection to here and now. It is entirely about the practice, and it does not need to be perfect. May we continue to find these moments of connection. May we know peace, wisdom, and serenity as we fill our hearts. Be well. Namaste. Oh, thank you everyone. Thank you, Joel. Let's see. Yoga Nidra and Sound Bath is on Sunday evening if you can join me. And if not live, it'll be saved and viewable later on. And if you ever have any questions or requests for movement practices or just things you're experiencing and you want to reach out, we're here to support you any way that we can during this time. And we're also asking for your support, whether that's by liking this, taking some classes with us, or commenting, sharing the videos. I'd love to have some more feedback on the business page and those reviews that are there. And I'm trying to think other places as well. In any case, financial contributions are always welcome, and that info is available in the description. Certainly right now, anything you can do to support us, we appreciate. So take care until next time. Ashley says, thanks, Joel. Your music put her to sleep in the middle of yoga. Yeah, Ashley, I caught myself actually drifting a little bit too while teaching today. So I'm really glad that you were here. Good luck with your homework, Ashley. Have a beautiful day, everyone.